Hey Martians, we're back here with Mario here, Voices of Mars, and I'm going to do a review on the KR backpack case and also some traveling tips. But before we start, I'm actually going to do a couple of shout outs. These are two very important people that made this video possible. The first one, without him, my trip would have been stupid and I wouldn't be able to carry all my models into Adepticon 2013. So this guy is Hazard Syndrome. Hayden, thank you for the price support that you did for your channel. You had like a 2,500 subscribers or some kind of subscriber contest, a painting contest. I won that and I got credit for it. So what he did was he PayPal me the money and then I bought the KR2 backpack. No, the KR backpack 2, this one right here. And then I used that to carry it over. But there were some problems with the UK vendor that we were going to use. It wasn't from KR straight, and then they weren't going to ship it straight to the US. They wanted to ship it to his place first in the UK and then ship it here. So I was afraid because it was going to take too long. So what he ended up doing is, I thank you for this because I know it's so much of a hassle. Cancel his order, PayPal me the money. I ordered it from the US side of KR. And then KR shipped it to me in time for me to pack my stuff. So thank you so much, Hazard Syndrome, and his channel can be found on the bottom as always. Second person that I want to shout out to is Mistress of Mini. Without her, the TSA would have been giving me a lot of problem. The story was, I read Mistress of Mini's blog. You can find him down here. She was mentioning that she worked in security before. She also worked, a couple of her friends are from TSA. They said that, they will check everything, blah, blah, blah. So I kept reading it and following her instructions. And then it was a smooth, totally smooth trip. It was so easy for me. So basically when I got to the TSA line, when you have to take your shoes off and everything. So I put my backpack down and then everything is on the other tray and then push everything in. And then as I was trying to put my belt and everything back on, the TSA guy looked at me because I saw on the screen it was, miniatures. It was lines, rows of like black figures on the X-ray machine. So he was looking at me, and before he said anything, I told him, I'm sorry, there's some showcase models and then there's our miniature models that I paint myself, and they're gonna go on a show for a competition. If you really need to look at it, I would appreciate it if you let me open it and I'll show it to you because I don't want it to be chipped or broken. Out of nowhere, the guy was like, what kind of miniatures? Lord of the Rings? And I'm like, yeah, something like that, because I had Malifaux models. As soon as I said that, he was like, you're good to go. And I'm like, yes. I didn't even have to open my bag. I'll tell you a horror story after I review the case, of course. But let's get on with the review. So thank you, Mistress of Mini. Your tips are really great. And her blog down below, always. Just check it out. Both of them. Hazard Syndrome channel on YouTube and also Mistress of Mini's blog down below. Now let's start with the review. The KR Backpack 2. Right now I set it up as the 1. You will see soon. First of all, my first impression, the price is $120. Free shipping though. This is from the US site. And the price for the UK version is around $110, $105. I believe that is because of PayPal's conversion rate that was retarded. So the price is a little bit more expensive on the US side. I shipped this in with the express one, so it's only 3-4 days FedEx. I added money because I had only like 5 working days left, 5 business days, but it was like 8 total days, and I didn't want it to come late because I needed this backpack when I go over there, because I know that TSA is going to give me crap for it. I contacted the customer support, and man, they have the best customer support because they helped me, quick emails and replying to everything that I needed, and then I got this bag in 3 business days. So mad props to KR's multi-case customer support. But $120, it is kind of expensive, but with the amount of stuff that you can put in here, it is really amazing. Technically, I only spent about $20 on this bag because of the shipping costs, because I upgraded it. But other than that, the first impression, wow, this bag is really cool. But then, because the second part wasn't open yet, and I'm like, how are you gonna fit 2 cases? And then I open in a compartment, and then I'm like, whoa, I can fit a lot of stuff. So first review, I like it because you can put your water bottle here and attach it over here, or you can put whatever in here and attach it and then just zip it up or tighten it with the rubber thing. There's a lot of zippers. There's one over here, there's one over here. My rule books are actually in here. My counters are actually in the front. And then for Malifaux, you use a lot of stat cards. So I put all my stat cards in here on the one side. I can also put a couple of decks of cards in here. It's a big compartment right there. And you also have this over here. I can also put more stuff in it, counters or whatever. Now you also have the first compartment. If you get the backpack one, it's gonna look exactly like this. And this is their, you know, signature cardboard case. This is really awesome because if you have a similar case this size, you can just slide it in and you can just switch it out anytime. I happen to have two of them because I got one from this bag and one from a different competition that I won. So everything is in here. Now I'm gonna show you the second compartment. This is the very cool thing about it. So there's a zipper on the bottom. You zip it up. You open it. Ta-da! It extends into two. And in this, you can fit another KR bag in it. I'll show you real quick. This is my second cardboard box. Everything in here, and this is the perfect size for carry-on because this is about the same size as one of those, you know, rollable trolley bag that you can bring inside without checking it in. And yeah, it's a little big to be on your back when you're walking around, but you carry all your miniatures in here. You have no worries that TSA is going to destroy your miniatures. And another cool part that I like, this part right here are adjustables, and they have clips for back support. So you can tighten it onto your front right here, and they also have waist support right here. And clip it. And then if you have cell phones with a clipper case or whatever, you can clip it onto your, over here somewhere. See that they have hooks for water bottles and whatever, or for your badge, you can just add it here. I like that a lot. And it's my favorite part is the magic compartment right here. This is why it's called the backpack too, because you can fit two cardboard cases. This thing is huge, but for 120 and I can carry two bags, I think it's a very, very wonderful product. Now, I mentioned something about a horror story. I knew a guy from Socal Malifaux. His name is Doug, and his brother. If you've seen my Adepticon videos, you'll see the horror story. But he checked his miniature bag in. When he got it back, well, he already had a delay of 48 hours. He was stuck in the airport for 48 hours. He was flying in from Pennsylvania. Once he got back all his items, it was all broken. His miniatures are broken, and it wasn't because, you know, they've been thrown around or whatever. I'm pretty sure the bag is thrown around, but it wasn't because of that, because it was in a proper miniature case. It looks like everything was broken in pieces because the TSA wanted to look if there's drugs in the miniature. They didn't know it was a toy. They broke every single piece. Anytime that I told anyone about that story, it's like pieces, like knives just stabbed me in the heart. It was a really painful story to hear, and he ended up buying a new case at the Adepticon and then carry in his hand to fly back. But it was gruesome. So from that, so don't ever check your bag in. Now, without reading Mistress of Mini's blog, I wouldn't know this. That's why I'm really grateful to her. But yeah, that is my review on the KR2 backpack. My only downside, the price is a little bit too high. I like the fact that it's free shipping included, but you know that there's no such thing as free shipping because it's actually calculated towards their price. The item itself, the product itself, is one of the best investment I ever made. And if you've never had a KR multi-case backpack or KR multi-case bag in general, their foam is blue. That's a little bit off-putting for me just because of the color, but the foam is the best quality. I believe it's actually, in my humble opinion, it is better than battle foam, because I've seen stuff chip on my battle foam bag, on my sword case, and I've never seen anything chip on my KR case. It is softer than battle foam. I mean, if you prefer battle foam, you know, go ahead, but I'm planning to switch all my bags into KR. I mean, I was never sponsored by any of them anyway, and somehow I won prizes and I just stuck with KR multi-case. The looks of the cardboard case can be off-putting to some people, but man, it's durable. It's really durable. As long as you don't spray it with water and like with a hose and just wait until it soaks, then it's fine. And especially if I'm putting it in my back, perfect. And nothing's gonna happen to it. So for 120, I think this is one of the best investment that I ever made. And I think you guys should check it out, try it out. If you don't want to get the, you know, the backpack 2 because you only have one case, you can get the backpack 1 for a little bit cheaper than that. But if you're planning to travel somewhere to a con, like flying in, one of the best solutions that you'll ever get is to actually have it on your back, because when I got back, all my loot, all the stuff that I buy, all the souvenirs, and even my sweater is in there. The 2 crystal brushes was in there. I fit it in on the other compartment because I only had one of the cardboard bags. So I love it. I'm really happy with the purchase. I mean, purchase because I didn't really purchase it. Thanks again for watching. Thanks again for those 2 people that I mentioned in the beginning, and I hope you guys enjoy it.